I bought my first house making $17 an hour, but most people stop talking about that after the down payment. Closing costs, that's another $5,000 to $10,000 that nobody talks about. Here's how I covered it in 4 steps. 1, I asked the seller to cover part of it. It's called seller concessions, and if the house has been sitting a while, they'll often say yes just to close the deal. 2, I used my tax refund and I stacked every side dollar that I could. I wasn't flexing, I was building leverage. 3, I found a lender offering credits for first-time buyers. Ask for it. They won't volunteer that information. I ended up getting approved for a 0% down payment. 4, inspections. I didn't skip them, but I didn't overpay either. One good inspector saved me from buying a lemon. No cosigner, no rich uncle, just strategy and a little boldness.
I'm a realtor that likes to see people win. And just because we advertise zero down payment programs to help you save money does not mean you should be purchasing a house with no money. That's just bad. It equals disaster. And a lot of times I'll even ask clients, hey, do you want to wait? Because Brandon, we can definitely get to the closing table. It can't be done. It can't be negotiated. But why would you want to purchase a house if you have no money? Emergencies can happen. You got other bills. You have a mortgage at this point. When using these down payment assistance programs, it's meant to help you keep your money, not so we can just throw you to the wolves and then you really, for a house that you really can't afford, if that makes sense. Or maybe you can afford to pay the house because you've been paying the same amount in rent every month, but you just don't quite have the full down payment. Something like that. Not you get the down payment, we cover your closing costs, and then you have to figure out how you gonna pay your mortgage. No. Um, Even during the purchasing process, there could be other fees that come up, and if you do not have it, you just wasted your time. So please, please make good financial decisions, especially when it comes to you build a generational wealth. You do not want to end up in a situation where now you have to hurry up and sell your home or it ends in a foreclosure because you were not financially prepared. There's nothing wrong with being financially prepared as long as you're working towards the goal.
Man, isn't that beautiful? Shout out to you, young lady. Did you hear what she said? She, from a professional standpoint, said this. See, zero down doesn't mean you don't need to have any money. It's quite the opposite. And this is what's been happening with a lot of people. And I just have to be real with you. You, the home buyer, you're an adult. And you know if you can't afford that, this is not the time to feel like I think I can. Go back and look at what you've done over the last 2 years and take the lower number. That'll get that will get rid of any anomalies that you may have experienced just because you at the right place at the right time, and go from that premise. Zero down doesn't mean no money. And like she said, why would you do that? Because you're just setting yourself up to fail. It's not if something is going to happen, something's going to happen. You got to have some money. And if you're dealing with a professional that just says, hey, your income tax is coming in, you need to buy, you need to run from those folks. Lastly, as she said, it's okay. We all can't make moves at the same time. It takes time. Check it out.
You want to buy a house in 2026 with zero down or less out of pocket as possible? Here's some ways to do it. USDA, rural housing. So that's zero down payment on a house. It's in a rural area. That means it's going to be on the outskirts of town, so more of like the slower country town, but no money down. And the next option would be there's homes that qualify for zero down depending on the area that it's located in. So get with your real estate agent or your loan officers to see if they have a list of those houses that meets their requirement that does not require down payment. The next option would be down payment assistance. I know some programs that offers $10,000 down payment, and you only have to pay it back if you moved in a certain amount of time, and there's no interest on those on the down payment assistance.
As this realtor said, there's a lot of different ways of doing so that dispel the myth that you have to have 20%, 10% down to be able to get in a house. USDA loans, great loans for rural development, not to be confused with the direct USDA loans. The key thing is the income. You cannot own multiple homes. It's 100% of the sales or the purchase price that you can finance. And sometimes if the house appraises higher, you can actually go a little higher than that. Lender will be able to walk you through that. The second thing is assets. A lot of people don't understand this. I've had folks come from other lenders that don't really know the program, where these folks are well-to-do, great incomes. They fell within the income requirements, but the assets, they had too much in the bank, and USDA is not going to allow you to move forward because it's for the underserved, the rural development. Move with caution, but she's right. There's a lot of programs available. She mentioned down payment assistance over my career has gone from folks hating on them to now people really utilize them, and a lot of lenders want to get into it. But with that said, there's still some explaining that we need to do as professionals, because a lot of times we just make it sound good and salesy. Nothing's free, okay? And if there's no payment, the interest rate is going to be higher. There's also cost associated with said program to administer these funds. So you really have to look at them to make sure they make sense for you. Last thing I would say is this: a lot of them have a time period associated to them. Sometimes you can find a grant, and if you get a grant, that's free money. By all means, go with it. If you get a mortgage credit certificate as a first-time home buyer, by all means, go with it, because effectively it lowers the rate, your nominal rate. If you don't know what I'm speaking about and your lender doesn't know what I'm speaking or what I'm talking about on the video, then reach out to someone who does, so that you know that you're being put in the best position possible, because you're only a first-time home buyer the first time. Shout out to you, ma'am. Here's the deal. I make free videos for you. I actually know what I'm talking about. And if you implement, it will help you and or your family get onto the property ladder. The only thing I ask is that you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell.
Okay, this is literally insane. I'm going to get the keys for me and my husband, or my husband and I's first house that we're purchasing. It's so freaking wild. Like, I don't even know how that happened, because we, I'm gonna cry. Okay, we got married in September, and we had to pay. We did have my mom help pay for the wedding, but we paid a lot, like a big chunk of it as well. Oh my gosh, why am I crying? And we also paid for our honeymoon on our own. We're broke, and luckily, like, we both have like good paying jobs, but it's like we had literally nothing in savings. So we decided just to cut back and start putting away my paycheck into savings. So we had about $2,000 in savings. And my cousin, Christina, well, technically my cousin's wife, but like, she's my cousin, was like, Hannah, you need to look into getting a house. Like, there's so many ways. There's also builders that are willing to help you with down payment assistance. Like, you need to look into it and get in contact with a lender. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. I will do it. And I set my expectations so low. I was like, you know what? Worst case scenario, I get told we can't buy a house, and we'll just have goals to work towards, whether that's saving up for a down payment, whatever that would entail. So I got in contact with my aunt, who is a realtor. She's freaking amazing. She recommended an amazing lender who, oh my gosh, like 10 out of 10, both of them 10 out of 10 have been so amazing, so easy to work with. I didn't know this. Utah actually has a housing grant that gives you $20,000 in down payment assistance and closing costs. So we used our $2,000 that we had in savings for earnest money. And then we paid like $400 to have our like new house inspected. Which was totally worth it. The guy who inspected our new place was so thorough, And so it's like, that's so important, so you know like what you're getting into. Yeah, and we were able to find a townhome that's a really good price, which is insane because there's townhomes that are like $500,000. Our townhome is not $500,000. It's like 380, which is so like such a good price for the area that we're buying in. So we freaking jumped on it. We're like, let's freaking put in an offer. So we put in an offer. They accepted it, which I'm like literally insane how it's all just working out. And now I'm at my house. Yeah, I'm trying not to cry. Anyways, really, we only had to pay the $400 for the inspection, getting our $2,000 in earnest money back. And we're going to use it to buy a washer and dryer to make some adult purchases. So essentially we didn't have to pay anything, which insane. Like, I don't know why I just thought that we'd have to save for like years and make it work. Needless to say, it has also helped, like, we've been so privileged and blessed to not have to go into major debt. Which is so crazy, like, neither me or my husband are doing have done college, so we don't have student loans. Our cars are basically paid off. So we have a super small amount of debt. I was also just like so privileged that one of my family members put a credit card in my name, which has helped boost my credit score. So I have a fantabulous credit score. So like what lenders are looking for is low debt and a good credit score, which I feel like is so achievable. Like, it's so achievable to do those two things. And obviously, like, everyone's situation looks different. I used to hate when people would be like, hey, I'm like 18 and I just bought my first house. It's like, yeah, but I'm 21 and my husband's 22 and we're buying a townhome, which is so wild. But it's like everybody's path looks so different, and it's like buying a home isn't the standard for success. I feel like you can have success in different ways. And this just was a huge goal of mine that I've been wanting to meet, and I didn't think that I'd be able to meet it so quickly. But yeah, anyways, buying a home is achievable even though the economy is shit. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get my keys and walk into my house. So thanks for watching my show.
Now, that's good stuff. When you do the right things, it just seems to work out. The thing that I love that she said the most is everybody's situation is different, and you buying a house isn't a measure of success, or if you don't buy one. See, I could tell this is something that she wanted to do. That was a goal that she had. And if your goal isn't to be a homeowner, don't let FOMO, the fear of missing out, these fake social media accounts. My point is this: you have to do what it is that you want to do, but you have to consider the full matter. So they prepared themselves. They didn't have a lot of debt. For those of you that didn't go to college and think that you're less than, a lot of y'all are winning for real. Here's the deal. If you are someone that says, I need to take that step, like to throw my hat in the ring, my NMLS license number is 180100. Been doing this over 20 years, and I love the opportunity to have a conversation with you. My contact information is in the description of the video below. My time is up, but I thank you for yours. As I always say, guys, let's be good to one another. Let grace abound. Watch these next 2 videos here. They'll help you on your journey to home ownership. And until the next time, indeed, y'all stay blessed.